first item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. For the record, Mr. Fiorello and Mrs. Feather are absent tonight. Before we move into our agenda, I would like to make a statement. Hopefully. We are all heartbroken over the devastating loss earlier this week of 19 students and 2 teachers at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. Please join us for a moment of silence. Our deepest condolences are with the families of the victims, as well as all of the students and staff at Robb Elementary School. We know that this can happen anywhere. School safety planning is an ongoing activity in our district, and we are so thankful for the strong partnership between the town, the Cumberland Police Department, and the school district to keep our students and staff safe. The agenda for this meeting was already published to the Secretary of State's site before the terrible event, and we couldn't amend our agenda. We will spend time at a future meeting outlining key aspects of our safety measures and plans. But even as we do that, we cannot share all of the details in order to protect the non-public portions of our school safety plans. In the meantime, if you have any questions or concerns, please contact your building principal or Dr. Thornton. Now we will move into our regular agenda. The first item of the agenda is approval of agenda. I need a motion to approve. Motion by Mrs. Rogalski.
Second.
Second by Mr. Collins. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. And to start us off on a happier note, I invite the student government to come up and give the school activities report. And it looks like we may have all of the seniors up here for their last time.
Good evening, school committee members. My name is Kenzie Friedman, and I am here with the other graduating seniors involved in student government at the high school. This year, we are starting a new tradition where the senior class presents at the final school committee of the year. Starting in September, we fully return back to the halls of Cumberland High School for the first time in a year and a half. On the first Friday of the school year, our senior class woke up the earliest they did all year to come to our senior sunrise. Later that day, we had our very first Clippers football game that was filled with lots of enthusiasm and energy. As the month went on, our fall sports kicked off their season and engaged in lots of team fundraising. You probably saw our soccer or volleyball teams out on Menon Road trying to wash their cars for some team donations. Overall, September was a great start to an even greater year, and now I'll have the rest of the seniors explain the rest of the year.
Hi, my name is Jenna Hooper, and I'm the secretary of the senior class at Cumberland High School. In the month of October, Cumberland High School student government took part in organizing our first Spirit Week in 2 years. This is why this past October, we were able to hold a true Spirit Week again in comparison to our virtual ones that we had in the years prior. The student body was thrilled, and we, as student government, put all of our effort into organizing a fantastic Spirit Week for the school. We spent countless hours preparing, organizing, and ensuring that Spirit Week was an enjoyable event for all. Our Spirit Week consists of dress-up themes during the school days, and then an activity that takes place after school at night. I would argue that it is our most successful Spirit Week from the years that we have all been here at the high school. Spirit Week always boosts school spirit and creates a greater sense of school camaraderie, and I can guarantee that Spirit Week definitely increased these qualities throughout the high school, especially this past year. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Andrew Maston. I'm the vice president of the senior class at Cumberland High School. So I did the month of November. In the month of November, Cumberland High School student government took part in organizing our turkey basket drive, where we raised thousands of dollars to go towards over 100 turkey baskets for families in need in our community. A bunch of us, we had signs up at Mendon Road telling people to donate to us at Seabra. We set up at Dave's. Seabra was very generous enough to give us over $1,000 worth of food, but it was one of our most successful years doing it, and it was our first time actually doing it at Seabra and Dave's. But yeah, so November was a great month for us.
Hi everyone, my name is Rachel Walmsley and I'm the publicity coordinator on student government. In December, we participated in the Adopt a Family fundraiser where students brought gifts for multiple families. We all had fun wrapping them together and giving back to the community. This event is so special for us because around the holidays we find it extremely important to give back and be so grateful for what we have. In addition, the student government also surprised the administration and teachers with coffee and donuts. We are so lucky to have such an amazing team at CHS, and we wanted to show all of our appreciation.
Good evening. My name is Reagan Cox, and I'm currently our charity coordinator at CHS. Along with January came the start to a very exciting way to highlight some of our best teachers at Cumberland High School. We decided to start the Superhero Teacher Cape of the Week Award, which was shared through our Instagram account at Clipper Pride CHS. Each week, our student government leaders began nominating and voting which teacher they thought deserved our CHS Superhero Teacher Cape. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jenny Karlmark, and for the last 3 years, I have been the treasurer for the class of 2022. February and March were a couple of our busier months this year. In February, we were busy creating Valentine's Day cards for the sick children in the hospital while doing carnation donations to the students. And March is also one of our busiest times of the year where we partake in the Pennies for Patients fundraiser and donations. Everyone in the school came together to raise money to fight childhood cancer, which is an amazing cause, and we all work together as one, but also have a little bit of healthy competition between our departments to see who can raise the most money. This year, our goal is $5,000, and we managed to raise over $6,000, succeeding our goal. And we are so proud of our school for all of the hard work and dedication we have put into the month of March and Pennies for Patients. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Michael Scialino, and I am the president of student government. April tends to be one of our less busy months, but we continue to work very hard as we plan our school dances for the remainder of the year. In fact, we helped fundraise for the sophomores by throwing the Spring Fling dance in the Wellness Center at the end of the month, which was a huge success. In addition to this, it also brought students from all different grades together. Also, many of our seniors made college decisions throughout the month, finalizing their post-high school plans. Unfortunately, our senior class president, Jack Proctor, couldn't be here tonight. He had a tennis match at Tucker Field. But for the month of May, we've been very, very busy. So at the beginning, we had our Teacher Appreciation Week, and we did a lot of different things between surprising teachers with candy and flowers, as well as just being appreciative in the hallways of Cumberland. Also, towards the end of this month, we had our junior prom just over a week ago at Crown Plaza, and this Saturday we have our senior prom, which is going to be at Gillette Stadium. So thank you so much for your time tonight. We know that we are all going to miss Cumberland a ton, and we appreciate all the work that you guys do every week. So have a great rest of your night, and thank you again.
All right. So I just want to say thank you to all of you, and especially my little Kenzela. But I want to thank you for everything you all have done to build a strong community in not only at the high school, but also in Cumberland, and to help build a positive culture here, even during a pandemic. The catching up with the Clippers videos and all the things that you did in social media to help keep kids connected and staff. I know that you each have left this school better than you found it, and I am so proud of all of you. See you at graduation. Mr. DeMonica? Mr. DeMonica would like to know about the senior prank. I would like to know, Andrew, if you won your game tonight. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. I should have. Okay, playoffs next week. All right. Thank you. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the consent agenda, approval of minutes from the regular meeting, May 12th, 2022, and the approval of minutes from the executive session, May 12th, 2022.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Collins, second by Ms. Smith. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It passes 5-0. The next item on the agenda is the personnel announcements. It's okay, you guys can leave now. Love you too.
Good evening. I have 3 announcements for you tonight. The first are 2 retirements. First is Cheryl Webster, retiring after 12 years of service, effective June 30th, 2022. She's a speech-language pathologist at McCourt and North Cumberland. Second is a retirement after 25 years of service. It's Peter Mooney, effective July 29th, 2022, maintenance carpenter's assistant. And finally, I have a resignation effective June 3rd, 2022, of Daniel Wright, a paraprofessional at ALP CHS. Thank you very much.
Oh, Mrs. Duncanson, I have a question.
Sorry, I have a quick question. Are we still, I haven't seen a tote bag in a while. Are we still doing the gifts? Is that something that?
Yes, Dr. Thornton usually handles this.
We do have the bags.
Like tradition?
I did forget, but I do wish to congratulate them on their retirement
Sorry,
and wish them
I
well.
like tradition. Thank you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the superintendent's report. Dr. Thornton. Hold on. Sorry, I skipped something. Sorry, the next item on the agenda really is report out of executive session meeting on May 26, 2022. Report out of executive session votes. We did not take any votes at our executive session. And the next item is a vote to seal the minutes of the executive session. Motion to seal. Mrs. Rogalski makes a motion to seal. Second by Mr. Collins. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. Thank you. Now the next item is the superintendent's report.
Good evening, Madam Chair. First, it's my pleasure to present the 2022 Teacher of the Year to the school committee. But before I do, we did have several fantastic finalists. I want to read their names to you in no particular order. Our finalists for Teacher of the Year included Brooke Ashley Morlino from BF Norton, Diane Bove, Community School, Susan Bleeker, Garvin, Diana Anderson at NCMS, Christopher Fernandez at McCourt, and Mark Primiano at the high school. So a round of applause, please, for the finalists. Now, for the 2022 Teacher of the Year, they come from Ashton Elementary. I had the pleasure today to be at Ashton during an assembly. At the end of the assembly, we have some video I think we can show probably on the website. We announced it, and the students were quite excited. And we have some video tomorrow I think we can put on the website showing how excited they were. But so it's my great pleasure to call up the 2022 Teacher of the Year, Miss Jen Marvel. And Miss Carbonic, please come up as well. Ms. Marvel, if you could stand right here while Ms. Carbonic says wonderful, true things about you.
I hope they're wonderful.
And then we'll go from there. Thank you.
Marvelous even.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start by saying that for the Teacher of the Year, Dr. Thornton read the names of the teachers that were nominated, but if you ask me, I will say that every teacher in Cumberland deserves the recognition to be Teacher of the Year. We do have the difficult job of selecting one for the district every year. And it is a difficult one because they're very strong candidates. And this year, Jen Marvel rise, to the top. And I'm just extremely proud of her. So I'm going to share with you what I read when she was elected. So Jen Marvel is a math interventionist at Ashton School. She's been servicing students in grades K through 5, and she's a dedicated educator that cares a lot about her students in our school. She has worked for the district since August 2006. She started her career actually as a student teacher at Ashton School and then became a special educator with us and transitioned to be a math interventionist in 2012 in our building. Jane's always positive and willing to help. She's solution-oriented. She helps with any problem we have, any situation that comes up, regardless whether it's related to math or even to her job. She's often seen working with teachers, offering materials, support, trainings, anything that the teachers really identified as a need, such as IXL, equip training, RICAS preparation, and benchmarking updates. Jen models lessons for teachers. This year, she helped a teacher with core. We had a new teacher in the district, and Jen was seen right at the start of the year with the teacher, co-teaching the core to make sure she was comfortable with the math. Teachers trust her, and I think that's really important. They seek her out. They ask for her advice. She's a building union rep and a member of the school improvement team. She's also a member of the Ashton Safety Care team and the head advisor of Student Council. Jen has an excellent rapport with our students. At dismissal time, she's a supervisor. She's known to all of us. She knows all of our students by names, and she's known by all of our students, as Dr. Thornton witnessed today. They were chanting for her. It was adorable. She knows them by name. She knows their families. She's outside doing dismissal duty, rain or shine. She's waving to the parents, sending the kids with a big smile off to have, a great end of a day. She supports our learners. She works with students below grade level in math. She keeps an ongoing communication with our families and our teachers, offering resources for home and for within the school. Students love when Ms. Marvel comes to pick them up from their classroom for intervention time, and they really look forward to the time with her. At meetings, Ms. Marvel is always very positive and professional. She shares student data and school data in a very positive manner. She's a member of the MTSS team, that is our problem-solving team. She helps facilitate all of the data meetings, especially the math data meetings. This year, Jen helped with the Blue Ribbon School application, and she volunteered to go to Washington, D.C. to receive the Blue Ribbon School Award with me and Dr. Thornton. As a head advisor for Student Council, Jen helped coordinate many activities throughout the year, and she's been doing it for a number of years. This year, she helped coordinate the Thanksgiving food drive, the Start With Hello program, Student Council elections, and now she's planning Spirit Week that's coming up. She stepped up to the plate doing RICAS testing when I needed to go on medical leave. She helped train the teachers, coordinate the administration of the state assessments at the school. She helped conduct parent workshop, RICAS workshop for grades 3 to 5. And she also helped coordinate the before school program academic program that we had through ASAR funds this year. Jen worked closely with Christine Holman and Joe Lemon during the time that I was away from the building, again on medical leave. She supported the teachers with whatever they needed. She was offering to help in any situation that came up. She genuinely cares and loves our school and our students. You can see that through her work. She is really a role model in our school and an inspiration to others. So congratulations to Jen for being our Ashton and District Teacher of the Year. It is well deserved. We're very proud of you. Thank you.
So now it's my pleasure to present this plaque to Ms. Marvel, Cumberland School Department 2022 District Teacher of the Year, presented to Jennifer Marvel in recognition of your inspirational actions, excellence, and educational leadership. Congratulations. And this plaque goes on our wall. It's being retired now. She's the last name on this plaque, so the new plaque. Also, Ms. Marvel now will be involved in the State Teacher of the Year process, so we're very proud.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I don't like talking in front of adults. Give me little kids any day, and I would be glad to talk to a room full of little people, but I'm just so humbled and honored. I was not expecting this whatsoever. This was a complete shock to me, but I love my job. I love teaching kids. I'm just so honored and grateful to be given this recognition. I can't express how humbled I am to be given this honor. So thank you, Dr. Thornton, thank you, Nydia, thank you for recognizing me in this huge, huge honor. I couldn't be more grateful to be given this recognition. So thank you, Cumberland, for hiring me. I did student teach in Nydia's building 16 years ago, walking down that hallway, and I was lucky enough to be hired here in this wonderful town, and lucky enough to stay at Ashton this entire time for my journey as a professional. So I'm just so grateful to be here, standing in front of you all tonight. Just honored, really honored to be here. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate this.
Congratulations.
And Madam Chair, I have a few more items on my list. Last meeting, the committee asked me to look into AlphaBest, and we did have a meeting with AlphaBest last week, and just a few thoughts from that meeting. First, AlphaBest will be keeping their schedules as they are right now, so if a school is later, they can still have that earlier time for students, so they are going to have those hours. They're also looking to increase staffing. That's the goal if we have that need. So as they open up the enrollment window, should there be a more of a need, they are looking to do that. They actually did say they opened up a new HR department, and they are having much better luck getting staff now than they were last fall when we opened. So it was a really encouraging meeting. Last thought, they're also running a summer camp in AlphaBest, so if folks have interest in that, that's also available. So overall, it's a real positive meeting. They're looking to, certainly staff us as we are with current times and increase staffing should the need be there from parents. COVID is on our minds, and I know last Friday, DOH put out some more information on COVID, and you certainly read the news. I did put in your packets again just the COVID numbers as we have them. You can see, we are climbing just a bit. 187 cases in the month of May versus around 49 the previous month. So we are going up. I know per policy, I recommend to you, my thinking, and you react to that. Right now, my recommendation is to stay the status quo of choice. I would not go past that at this point, given where we are. I think choice is still my recommendation. So I'm certainly, willing to, have that conversation should the committee want to do something with that or do something different. So that's the COVID update. Last but not least, construction. Construction is taking, it's kind of like a ball that's rolling. It's exciting, but it's also just getting very, very fast. A lot of things happening at once, but it is positive. The moves are in place. We met with both unions. We kind of really firmed up, when we're moving, how we're doing it, down to the kind of boxes we're getting and color coding the rooms we're going to, rooms we're at, rooms we're going to go to. Very organized. Every teacher gets 15 boxes as the base. So we kind of have all these things mapped out for the move. Garvin, the design for Garvin will go out on the street, as they say, in the coming days, and then we get the vendors to bid on the work, and that's exciting. As you know, last time we talked about right now out on the street is the addition for Ashton and Community's cafeteria. So all 3 jobs will be on the street. We are planning to have some meetings at Ashton and Community in June for parents at night to talk about the construction, because we know in those cases it's construction, of a wing and a calf when we have school in session. So we're going to talk to parents about what that looks like. And I think we're slating for the middle of June for those at night. So we'll get more details on those dates for those meetings. Last piece, later on the agenda we'll talk about it, but there are always wrinkles with this work. As you know, National Grid was sold to PPL, and that has an impact on our construction. So I'll leave that for later in the meeting, but there's another wrinkle that we have to deal with. So Madam Chair, that's all I have at the moment.
Thank you, Dr. Thornton. Any questions or comments for Dr. Thornton? Ms. Smith?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Dr. Thornton, has AlphaBest worked with the state yet or applied with the state to see if they can increase the amount of enrollees?
We talked about that, and as soon as they open up the enrollment and they see the increase, they will call the state in to have that exact conversation.
And is that a long process that typically happens, or is it something, do you know how it works at all?
I think once you're already licensed, it's pretty straightforward. If you're a new licensee, it's more involved. Once you have your license looking for expansion, it's really a question of square footage and just where the kids are. So I think it's pretty straightforward.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, thank you, Dr. Thornton. The next item on the agenda is reports of standing committees, starting with the Fiscal Management Subcommittee update. Mr. Collins.
Good evening, Madam
Chair, good evening, fellow committee members. The Fiscal Management Subcommittee met this evening. Quite a bit to talk about this evening. Obviously, the most pressing issue right now is the budget. We are still working on closing a gap, projected budget gap of $1,446,056. Dr. Thorne and Mr. Brignano presented their plan to do that to us, but this is an incredibly fluid process. The town is still holding hearings. We attended the first hearing on Tuesdays, a few of us, and we do strongly encourage the public to attend those meetings. The next one is next Thursday, I believe, at McCourt. I think at 7 o'clock or 6 or 7 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock. So that'll be at McCourt because typically the public does turn out, not just for schools, but any sort of other pressing budget issue in town. Another very important issue that was raised, we took up during Fiscal Subcommittee, had to do with the community school playground, which is in rough condition. There is a plan to fix the playground as part of the overall renovation of the school, but members of the school association, the parents association, reached out to us, and the issue right there is rather dire. I don't know if we're going to have enough time. So there is a tough situation with that playground, and with the construction, they're going to lose even more play area. So we're collaboratively working on a plan to address some of the issues right now, even before perhaps the overall renovation of the playground. So we had a very productive session. I thought we came up with a couple different options, and we're moving forward. So we definitely got the ball rolling, and I know many members of the community were concerned, parents who have children there. There's some damage to that equipment, so we're hoping to fix it. And so that's looking promising. Also, we heard from Sodexo. Sodexo continues to have a record year, largely because of federal reimbursements and increased usage, but a lot of that will dry up, and it's imperative that families that think they qualify for free or reduced lunch, even if they're not sure, fill out the forms. It's confidential. The worst that can happen is somebody's going to say no. It helps the district financially, but also, as I've said before, if food insecurity is an issue, a hungry child is going to have a real tough time paying attention in the classroom, and it should never be an issue for anybody, but particularly children. Another thing that we raised, I know this is longer than normal, another great thing that came out of Fiscal Subcommittee was there was an issue raised by a member of the community about 6 months ago. Many of you know Ted Vecchio. His mother, I believe, had asked him about a picture that used to hang in the lobby of a woman named Joyce Dapper, who used to be a teacher here, who she died tragically, I'll just say that. And there was a beautiful portrait that went missing, and nobody knew where it was. So Mr. DeJesus, Mr. Costa from the high school, we found the picture. So it was sitting in our the superintendent's office. So there is a plan to clean it up and rehang it once it's ready. So some people are asking, and I don't go back that far in this town. So, and some of you went to school here. So it means a lot to the people in the community. And as I said before, tradition's important. So that picture will be rehung. So that's great. It was originally outside the auditorium. That's what they said. So there's a plaque there as well. That's great. So, and then a couple other things. We have 2 resolutions later this evening. There were no payment of the bills. So budget, playground. So it's lengthier than normal, but there's a lot of positive news in there. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Collins. The next item on the agenda is Policy and Procedures Subcommittee update. Mr. Fiorello is not here tonight, and I don't think the subcommittee met this past week.
They did not.
Okay,
We did
all right,
not.
thank you. Next item is Achievement and Communication Subcommittee update, and we also did not meet this week, but we do plan on meeting in June. And the next item is the District Health and Wellness Subcommittee update. Mr. Rogalski?
District Health and Wellness meets next Thursday, and I will be reaching out to Ms. Malcolm and Ms. Carbonic tomorrow to set the agenda for that meeting.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is comments from the public. If there's anyone who would like to make comments, you can come up to the microphone, state your name and address, and there is a 3-minute time limit. All right, President Kitch.
Thank you very much, members of the council. Just quickly, first, I want to thank the members of the school committee who came to the budget hearing. As you suggested in Mr. Thornton, you know, it's going to be tough, and as you already know, with your $1.4 million gap that you mentioned today. So, again, those dates are June 2nd, June 6th, and June 13th. So, 6 o'clock at McCourt, and the other two are going to be held at Cumberland High School. Again, I got just a few things, but again, I want to congratulate the Teacher of the Year, Ms. Marble. Thank you for everything you do for our students every day, and all the teachers, matter of fact. And by the way, Mr. Chairman, that was a beautiful touch and heartfelt tragedy. I think we all felt that and put ourselves in those positions every time it happens. And again, I think we all agree it's going a little too frequently in this country. I also want to acknowledge the seniors that were here tonight, government. It's great how they get involved, and, you know, if these young people get into elected office, believe me, I think we're going to be in good hands in the future. And the last thing, I just want to congratulate the distinguished scholars. I attended that event the other day, and it was just great to listen to where they're going and what they've accomplished. It makes you want to go back and look at your own high school career and go, wow, what did I do? But it was great. But anyway, that's all I had. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, President Kinch.
Hi again. My name is Lisa Goldstein. I live at 93 Windsong Road, and I'm here as both a parent of a third grader at community school and as a board member of the Community School Association. Thank you, particularly to Mr. Collins and Ms. Rogalski, for putting the school playground on the schedule for discussion. I appreciate the committee taking the time to explore funding options for repairs. This is an excellent first step towards fixing the playground and before the fall, when it will become the only outdoor space for our kids during construction. Our playground is home primarily to the 670 students at community school, but is also an important play space to our neighbors around Cumberland. It has been broken and graffitied for over a year. Over the course of this school year, the playground's condition has deteriorated to the point where about a third of it is covered in protective netting or boarded up and unusable. This is unsafe and unfair to the children who play on it. Recess and the play that happens in our playground is not a break from our children's education. It is our children's education. The physical activity, motor skills development, social skills, conflict resolution, and emotional regulation skill development that happens on that playground are an essential piece of our children's growth. They deserve a working, safe equipment to play and learn on, and they deserve it very quickly. As it's been stated, the CSA has committed to contributing to funding these repairs in part, and we're hopeful that the school committee will be our financial partner in this endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Dan Cohen. I live at 11 Buckboard Drive off of Bear Hill. I know this isn't on the agenda until possibly June, but I don't know if I'll be able to attend the committee meeting in June. Just want to talk about the busing situation for Garvin for the fall. I appreciate the challenges with the budgets. I really do. This is also hurting families, the current situation. Assuming $1,250 a person or a child for morning care, this could cost Garvin families up to $1 million for the year to get their kids somewhere where they can be safe in the morning and get to school on time, and also parents be able to get to work on time. Most parents in this town are two working parents in this town, if they're fortunate enough to have two parents in their household. Otherwise, it's a single parent who's probably working multiple jobs. It's an extremely difficult situation. Many parents have already signed up with Shine Bright for the fall. To learn, this week that Shine Bright may not be available for busing is really adding insult to injury on a situation that we're doing our best to cope with. Really imploring this committee to look for alternatives, find a way to make busing work. It's on Menden Road. It's close to the school. I think with a little creativity, we can absolutely make this happen. I'm happy to be part of the solution, but looking to this committee for leadership to make it happen. Thank you.
Hi, Andrea Estevez, 55 Circuit Drive. I'm also here as a parent of two small children who go to community with one more on the way. I'm also a board member of the Community School Association. I'm just as concerned as Lisa. Our children deserve a working playground. The the 670 kids right now, you have to see them. They use the field, they use the blacktop, and they use the playground. Come September, they're gonna have a playground that's broken. And we're just here to reiterate, we just wanna partner with you guys, and we just, if it's the town, if it's you guys, we wanna make it work for our kids. So, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Hello, Catherine Landry, 36 Manville Hill Road, Cumberland. Been in Cumberland my whole life. So, awesome, you guys are doing an awesome job, first. Second, I'm with the gentleman who just left with his son for Shine Bright. I'm not directly impacted. I'm one of the lucky ones. My folks helped me take my son on and off the bus, after school care, the whole nine. But I do have my son's friends who are impacted. Their parents are nurses. They work with different community centers. And Bianca at Shine Bright has created an amazing community, an activity center for the kids. If you're ever interested, she does adult paint nights too. Awesome, fun teacher team building activity, maybe. But my main concern is not just the impacts for my son's friends and their families, but also for the rest of us who recognize that if there is an aspect of her business that is shifted or adjusted, the cost will trickle down to everyone else. And the activities that we all know and love for our children would, across the board, increase to make up for what's not coming in while she's taking care of our friends' kids before and after school. I'm not sure what the plans are or if there's any kind of middle ground for it where the school might know of a bus service that she can connect with to try to help, or what kind of partnership the school goes and offers. Because if there is an increase, in my mind, that has to happen, it'd be tight, it'd be tough, but I'm sure, pulling her in for a conversation to say, hey, where do you sit? What are your plans? What's equitable for you might help the situation. It was funny, Tuesday night, I wake up in the middle of the night. It's sad. Checked my phone, saw what happened in Texas, was heartbroken, and then as I was scrolling through, I saw that the Cumberland, complaints page had blown up as well about the busing, and I'm just like, oh Lord. So I'm just here to say, while I'm not immediately impacted, I know people who are, so I'm very hopeful after hearing all the wonderful stuff that's been going on for the school, for the year and everything else, that you guys can partner with her to make a positive change for the group. So I know Alphabet is looking to increase their numbers, which is awesome, but some parents drive right by, Shine Bright to get into CVS or the highway. So for them, it's more so how to rearrange things and whatever. And people are creatures of habit. So thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Any other comments from the public? Okay, seeing none, we will move to new business. The first item is discussion and/or vote on non-tenured teacher layoffs. Dr. Thornton, Mrs. Duncanson.
Ms. Duncanson.
Pursuant to the June 1st deadline, I ask that you approve the layoffs as presented in executive session 1 through 62, non-tenured teacher layoffs.
Okay, Mrs. Duncanson asks us to approve the non-tenured teacher layoffs 1 through 62. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mrs. Rogalski.
Second with discussion.
Second by Mr. Collins for discussion.
I just hope the public understands that this isn't layoff for cause or anything like that. This is a very common process in which teachers who do have non-professional status are laid off, and it has to be done by June 1st. Dr. Thornton, correct me if I'm wrong, it is the expectation that the majority, nearly all these teachers, the goal is to get them rehired, right?
That is correct.
Thank you. The idea is it gives us some financial flexibility with a lot of the uncertainties. So there's a June 1st deadline for layoffs, and our final budget isn't due till the end of the month. So we have to do this for cause. And I know as a teacher, this happened to me my first 3 years of teaching. It's unsettling as a teacher, but I was always going up and almost to Labor Day weekend getting rehired. But you have indicated that your goal is to get them hired as soon as possible, correct?
That's right. Our goal is before June is out, we would have this resolved. That's the goal.
Ms. Duncanson, did you meet with the individuals face-to-face?
I met with everyone who was in person. There are a few that are on leave for various reasons, but I met with, I think, 58 in person. Thank you.
Power upgrade at JJM Cumberland Hill Elementary School.
Madam Chair, thank you. I mentioned earlier about National Grid. As luck would have it, National Grid was sold to a company called, I believe, PPL, and that kind of gets us involved in this conversation. Part of the work at Cumberland Hill involves an upgrade in the electrical service. It's kind of like adding another house of power onto the power we have now. If you go into Cumberland Hill in the back, there's some stairs going down. There's a vault over there with a door. You open it up, there's a black, like this transformer from, I think, the 1930s. That was the power, I don't know what you'd call it, just the transformer, if you will. So now that has to, be modernized. So we had a plan, as you have plans and things happen. The plan started, we have 2 new telephone poles coming in as you finish going around the sidewalk, and those are in from National Grid. But then the plan was to continue running this line of, power to the building. Unfortunately, when you do the protocols like DigSafe, you find out there are things in the way in the ground, so we can't now put it where we want to put it. So now we have to look at, changing the plan. National Grid, has a plan. We, had some thought or consternation about maybe looking at other options. But if we look at other options, it would trigger engineers going back to rethink while National Grid turns into PPL. And we could run the risk of not getting our work done on time to open Cumberland Hill on time. So that could be, a problem. Compounding that, things cost more. The copper was $6 a foot. Now, Mr. Chandler, $18 a foot in climbing. So as we, wait, things are going up. So right now, a letter came out this afternoon, Mr. Pignano. I want to say the architectural firm said it may cost north of $70,000 above the budget. That's out of the bond, right, at Cumberland Hill. We have this on the agenda for the building committee Tuesday, but I wanted to get it in front of you also out of sequence because our team wants to get a shovel in the ground soon so they can finish their work on time. So sometimes things don't cost what they say they're going to cost. Right now they're saying 70. I'd recommend maybe you pick a number higher to give us some room, like up to, and then if it comes in at 76, we're covered. I'd defer maybe to the Mr. Pignano. What number would we pick, the up to number, to cover us for this recommendation? So if you didn't hear that, he's recommending an up to number of 100,000, but you can certainly discuss that. But bottom line, we do need you to discuss this and take an action so we can move the ball forward. So that's what we know at this point. Happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Dr. Thornton?
I have a comment. I have a difficult time. I understand the urgency, and I understand but I don't feel comfortable if it hasn't been vetted by the building committee. And I know we've done things out of sequence before, but we don't have a dollar amount. I don't feel comfortable personally. People may feel differently giving a blank check for something without, and I know time is of the essence. I'd be more than happy to jump in an emergency meeting 48 hours.
It's another option. They meet on Tuesday, I believe. We could post, actually, we already posted it. So we could post a joint meeting on Tuesday, school committee and building committee. But we posted building committee already. We could do a one agenda meeting next week on
I'd be happy to. It'd be a short meeting.
It has to be Thursday, I believe, right, because of the holiday? Post on Tuesday for the Thursday, right? It's already posted. It's already 48 hours.
We only need four for,
Thursday's
So with the
budget.
holidays, I believe, if I'm wrong, correct me, someone, with the holiday, I believe you post on the Tuesday for a Thursday.
But I think Thursday's the budget meeting,
Right.
town budget meeting.
the town budget meeting, I'm sorry, the town budget meeting, if we can, we only need a quorum of the building committees at what time? That's Tuesday.
That's Tuesday at 5:30, I believe. This
So
would be a
we
one.
can post tomorrow. We can post an agenda tomorrow and get a meeting Wednesday.
No, we can't because Monday's the holiday. You can't count holidays.
But we'd have all day,
Right,
we'd have
Wednesday's
all day
Thursday.
tomorrow, we'd have all day Tuesday. We can do Wednesday, yes?
Yeah.
Friday would be.
Yeah, that would be 4 days. Tomorrow's Friday, 3 to 3 on Tuesday. And Tuesday, as long as we have it after, if we get the thing out by tomorrow at 3 o'clock,
It can't be for Wednesday.
It could be a if I'm, Mr. Adams could weigh in. I believe a Wednesday would be the earliest,
That's what
right?
I'm saying, Wednesday, that's what I said.
Wednesday.
I meant Wednesday.
Statement should be about 71,000. Why don't you approve it to, up to 71,000, we'll come back if there's any reason to come back. But at least that would be approved up to that amount.
I understand the urgency of this as well, and we don't want to take the possibility of slowing down the completion up at Cumberland Hill and having everything get backed up, because that backs up this school, it backs up the move, it backs up Garvin. So I appreciate and understand that. I guess I'm a little taken back that the number of 100,000 would be recommended to be up there. I think that that is far too high of us to look at. If right now they're saying they're looking around the 70,000 mark, I wouldn't have a problem saying, okay, well, let's go up to 75,000 and put that out there with the caveat that our final vote would occur when the final number is available. I do understand it. It does happen from time to time. I think at the end of the day, regardless of what that cost is going to be, we're going to have issues and we can't slow it down. So I'm really hoping that the architect and whoever else is involved with that is finishing that quickly and aggressively going after that cost so that we do not see it climb much higher than that 71,000.
Mr. Collins.
And correct me, I don't see anything in the drive. Do we have the estimates? Yeah, so I mean,
Did it today around 2 o'clock?
I don't feel comfortable personally. People may feel differently without having look at some dollar amounts. I'm available Wednesday. I just checked my calendar so we can get this. But I'd like to see some documentation.
I'm happy to meet on Wednesday.
So we could, the building committee is meeting on Tuesday, correct?
Yes.
So if the building committee, we have all the information for them, and if they approve it on Tuesday, we could have a special meeting on Wednesday. We just need 4 of us, at least in attendance. Mr. Rogowski cannot make it. Yes, Ms. Smith?
I'm sorry, can I ask, Mr. Brignano, will they have that information for them for that Tuesday meeting? Or are they anticipating a number?
No, EDS sent us a letter. Their estimate is that it should be no more than 71,000.
And
You
the
read the
final,
letter.
the final piece
Dr.
that's
Thornton, you
being
read that
done?
letter, right?
Yeah. They came out today.
So what is that final piece that's being done then? That you had said that just in case it wasn't all completed, that it could be up to 100,000?
No, I'm just saying to give yourself some room because things happen out there. Things are constantly happening that
Yeah.
require change orders.
Just to add to that, right
Just do it
now-
to 71,000.
Right now, it's so volatile with costs and suppliers and the cost of metal, those kinds of things happen. So 75 is one idea, or Wednesday is certainly fine too.
But the building committee will have that accurate number in a proposal in front of them for Tuesday, so that we can then vote on it Wednesday? Or are we going to come back on Wednesday with the same?
You would vote what they have voted
estimates?
on Tuesday. You would get their item completed on Wednesday.
So we will have the proposal. That's my concern, not just they approved it, but we will have the written proposal to go along with the resolution.
I can't tell you sitting here how it's going to look as far as the verbiage, but you will have a voted upon, approved plan to go forward for the power.
I think the proposal that's going to come forward is that letter that EDS wrote for 70,000 change, almost 71,000. I believe that will be the proposal.
I typically like to look at the things ahead of time, so when we get a resolution, we have the attachment, the bid, whatever, the itemized dollar amount. $71,000 is a lot of money. I understand the urgency. And again, if the rest of the committee wants to vote, I don't feel comfortable doing so. But I am available Wednesday if we can agree on, it sounds like verbally we have a quorum, so I'll be there Wednesday if it doesn't matter.
Mr. DeMonica, can you make it Wednesday?
I can be here Wednesday. I would just like to say this complex, during the building of the Trans building and taking out the rotunda and things like that, this whole complex had to have the same thing done here too, because it was buried, and National Grid's wanted it changed. I mean, I feel comfortable making a motion to approve up to $71,000. If it doesn't pass, it doesn't pass, so I make that motion.
Mr. DeMonica makes a motion to approve this National Grid power upgrade up to $71,000. Do we have a second? Okay, that motion does not pass. So the plan will be to hold a special meeting on Wednesday, hoping we can get a quorum.
Madam Chair, is 5:30 a good time? What time would you like?
Wednesday at 5:30 might be tough for me, but if we,
We might as well schedule it now. 6:30, 7?
yeah, 6:30 would be better for me. I know you can't make it.
Just because of the fact that we're gonna make, employees stick around for us to get here for that meeting, so whatever we can make for a time would be beneficial to all of them as well.
I appreciate that too, but I also have a full-time job during the day.
6:30 is fine.
We could do 6 o'clock. I mean, we can talk to Dr. Thornton tomorrow. I'll figure out what works best. Okay, all right. Next on the agenda is discussion and a vote to approve homeschool instruction request for the 2021-2022 school year.
Madam Chair, you have one to approve.
One to approve. Mrs. Rogalski makes a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Collins. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. The next item on the agenda is discussion and a vote to approve resolutions. Mr. Collins.
Good evening. We have two resolutions, SCPR-05, 2022-52, which deals with owner's representation to Colliers, an amount of $40,818.79, and SCPR-05, 2022-53, a resolution authorizing and empowering the Cumberland School Committee to purchase Schoolzilla Professional from Renaissance located in Wisconsin Rapids, an amount not to exceed $45,244. Both these passed Fiscal Subcommittee 3-0, and I move passage to the full committee.
Mr. Collins makes a motion to approve the aforementioned resolutions. Do we have a second? Second by Mr. DeMonica. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. The next item on the agenda is discussion and a vote to approve payment of bills.
We have no bills.
All right, thank you, Mr.
I'm sure we'll have more next month.
The next item on the agenda is school committee comments, school liaison reports. Any comments from the school committee? Mrs. Rogalski?
I just wanted to say I had the opportunity to attend both the Distinguished Scholars ceremony this week, as well as the World Language Honors Night. And it was really something to see all the kids, just what Cumberland has produced, and it's really a testament to the students and to the teachers. And so I just want to send congratulations to all the students inducted, to the medal honors, to the medal winners for the national language exams, for all of the graduating seniors in the top 10%. It was really, really quite impressive to see.
We'll come back to you, Mr. Collins.
I actually have a couple. First of all, I do share, I think you covered it at your opening remarks, but I think your opening sentiment was very powerful, so thank you very much for that, and I think we all share that. You know, we value children, and it's awful when these things happen, and I hope people can figure this out, because this is not America. I had the pleasure of attending on Saturday night a scholarship fundraiser, a Clipper Pride fundraiser, which was put together by a few members of the community in memory of a couple graduates who died unexpectedly last year. It was a great turnout, and it really shows what people can do. And I wish the young people, the seniors here, were still here to hear that. But, you know, those bonds you form when you're in high school last forever. And it's good stuff, good stuff. So you can still donate. There's a GoFundMe. I think it's on Facebook. So I would encourage people. They did a great job, raised a ton of money. And I'm told the scholarship is going to be, I talked to Mr. Curran at the fundraiser, and he said they are going to get the fundraiser out by graduation. So, and they have a fun little contest for kids to win, to earn a scholarship. So they did a great thing, and I'm hoping it becomes a tradition. So good stuff, and hopefully the rest of you are there next year. So it's a good time.
Any other comments? Mr. DeMonica.
I remembered, Madam Chair. To those that are graduating, if you're not going to use your tickets, could you please turn them in? There are plenty of parents out there that would like more tickets. So if you're not going to use them, please turn them in so someone else can. Thank you.
And I would just like to congratulate all the seniors. Today was their last official day of school. I know some of them still have finals to get through, and then a fun senior week coming up, and then graduation on June 10th. And like Mrs. Rogalski, I was also in President Kinch at the Distinguished Scholars Ceremony, and was honored to be able to recognize Paul Barlow as the salutatorian and Caitlin Victon as the valedictorian. And we're looking forward to celebrating with them at their graduation. Okay, next we have a vote to go into executive session for discussion on items referred to in Royal and General Law. I don't believe we have that tonight.
We do not, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Thornton. Next item is adjournment. Motion by Mr. Rogalski. Second by Mr. Collins. All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned at 8:06.